Hey guys, so yeah, start as promised. As of today, to replace Season 0, I'm gonna start reviewing Dead Rock. And I guess first, full disclosure, I have kind of read ahead. I've read like the first four chapters of this manga, so I'm kind of I'm revisiting at least the first four chapters of this one. Um, but yeah, and I'll be honest, just rereading this first chapter. This is probably one of the more unique first chapters and premises that Mashima has ever come up with. Because right out of the gate, it wastes no time in telling you, yes, this premise, this story of Dead Rock, it's taking place in the fucking demon world, and I think that is probably, again, it is one of the most unique premises Mashima has come up with, because not only can he come up with a vast variety of unique characters with that premise, but there's a certain, compared to his other series, there's a certain malicious nature there's a certain malicious nature that really needs to kind of, that he can kind of tap into, like, even with the main characters who are supposedly the heroes, he can make it to where, like, the main characters have their, even though the main characters are all working together, they can still have their own personal agendas for doing what they're doing and whatnot. So I kind of like this premise. I like the setup just for that. But okay, but with that said, with this premise, the whole idea is it takes, like I said, the premise of the story takes place in the demon world, and at the center of the specific area we're focusing on, the demon world, there is a school, an academy called Dead Rock, that pretty much trains the next generation of demon lords, the ones who, if who graduate from the school, will be will become the new rulers of the new rulers of the human world, anointed by the principal of the school, God himself, apparently. And so yeah, but at the center of this is our main character, is our main character Yakuto, who going throughout, who, it's the classic Mashima thing of going, as we go through this, starting from the beginning of the chapter up to the end. He's pretty much the unassuming main character, the bright-eyed youth, the one who has big dreams and wants to achieve something big, but achieve big dreams. And this is where Mashima gets a little freaky with it, because yes, Yakuto is all those things and more, but by the end of the chapter, that's where he gets a little nasty with it, because as the chapter goes on, it's revealed that that Yakuto is basically a descendant or something of a black dragon. Again, we'll get to that in a minute. And supposedly, as revealed at the end of the chapter, he wants to kill God. Yes. Now, I need to say this right now because it is something I had heard about, but it definitely needs to be addressed here, which is to say that the Yakuto's goal of killing God is one of those things that kind of sets a high barred expectation of this series going forward, which is to say that with as big of an ambition as that of killing God, Mashima has kind of set himself up for slight failure, if he has set himself up for failure a bit, if he doesn't understand that this requires sacrifice, in a sense of the word. Like, with the goal of killing God, that pretty much does set up the final battle to be epic. But the thing is, when you're up against God, when you face a being known as God, you do not come out of a final battle like that without some scrapes and scars. So, like in my mind, like Mashima, if like Mashima has to, in that whatever the final battle looks like of this series, whatever the final battle climax of the series looks like, Mashima has to kill people, and I mean kill people in the sense of people have to die, and they have to stay dead. Like he has to commit to killing at least a chunk of his main cast of characters, even if even maybe even the MC probably, but it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where I I really like the premise and idea of this series. I'm worried about what's going to happen when we get to the climax. So it's like one of those things where I have enough faith that Mashima understands what just what he's doing, what he's setting up here, but it's like there's that small piece of me that says he might end up pulling an Eden Zero in this. That's worries he might end up pulling an Eden Zero in this case of like it's going to be that thing where he kills people, but then they're gonna all come back in some way. I'm worried it's gonna be that, and I don't think Mashima can afford to do that with this kind of series. But okay, with that out of the way though, let's get into the kind of some of the more nitty gritty aspects of this series, which is to say along the way, well, throughout the chapter, uh, we basically see we pretty much see Yakuto get into all kinds of scrapes and bruises, and along in order to be one of the contenders in order to attend Dead Rock Academy. And along the way, he comes across, again, like I said, he comes across a group of characters who become his allies. And I do, one thing I do like about this series too is how Mashima doesn't like he doesn't pull the Eden Zero thing of like having Yakuto be alone, and then we'd probably gradually see him recruit allies over the course of the series, and that probably could still happen. But I do like how right from jump, like Mashima has it to where he already has a group of characters he's recruited into his little band of rebels, I guess you could say, and this group of rebels are he and who is the root of the Fenrir, Ryzen, the root of the Orochi, Frey, root of the fire demon Ifrit, I think it's Chaco, the root of Yat Agarasu, Hani, the root of Thunder God Thor, and Mikoto, the root of the Lich. And like it is, and this whole root system, I have to imagine it's kind of like a bloodline. It's kind of like a bloodline thing. Like each of these characters are descendants of these very specific demons, monsters, or gods, or whatnot. And if that is the case, then who the fuck is Yakuto like descended from, or what kind of like timeline does this exist in? Because Yakuto apparently has the root of the black dragon, and according to Mikoto, black dragons, but dragons especially like had died out like years or decades ago, from what she says. So like that means that this timeline wise, this would have to have taken place after like after like Eden, after Fairy Tale or something like that, like or especially like decades after the battle against Acnologia. But that just begs the question: what's the connection? Like, what is it? Like, what is Yakuto's connection to like the Black Dragons and specifically Acnologia? That's kind of the big question that I think definitely needs answering in this, with this series, and definitely like what exactly is the what exactly is how does it have to do with this whole system of like roots and I guess bloodlines and whatnot kind of thing. And now, and yeah, but yeah, aside from, but yeah, after getting introduced to these characters, like I said, we see like from Shikuto having killed one of the teachers and proclaiming, "I'm going to kill God," and like I kind of like their reactions. Like they're not entirely, they're kind of like, "What the fuck?" I do like a lot of the characters' reactions after he does that. They're like, "What the fuck is this kid smoking?" Like he's insane. Even by the standards of like of this world, even the idea of killing God is like an absolute fucking insane thing to think about. And yeah, like I said, it does really kind of set the tone that this is gonna be one hell of an insane ride. And again, I do gotta give Mashima credit. Again, this is one of the most ambitious chapters he's done. But if I was to set a theme, it does set some very high expectations that I am worried about whether or not he can fulfill. But yeah, yeah, guys. But but like so far from what I'm seeing, I do like a lot of these. I do like a lot of these like characters that Yakuto is gonna be like teaming up with. Like I think maybe he I think maybe if I was to pick maybe two out of the bunch, I think Hien and Ryzen are Hien and Chaco are probably gonna be like the more blander characters to follow for a bit. Like they seem like Hien feels like the most stoic and kind of like just reserved character. So he's like he might be a little bit of he's definitely gonna be a slow burn to kind of learn more about him and to kind of like get to really know him. But yeah. But as far as like the rest of them, Ryzen, Frey, Chaco, Honey, Makoto, all of them like they all seem like pretty fun characters to really to really like get to know. And I can't lie, I especially I do love Frey quite a bit simply because she you can tell she's the one who received the Natsu treatment the most of like yeah she's basically a firecracker who's like she basically falls in love for anyone who kills and maims people. She loves she loves death, she loves destruction, she loves like kill and maim people. So yeah. Um now one more thing I do want to say is the whole premise of once like students graduate from Dead Rock, then they're possibly assigned a human world or a section of the human world to rule over. Part like on the surface level it looks pretty good, but I can't lie, there's a part of that particular part of the series really had me saying, okay, are they okay, this feels like they're feeding some bullshit to the students, like something's not right with that. I don't know what it is, but something about that premise had me going, okay, what's the catch? There's got to be a catch for something like that. Like, I don't know. Something just had me saying, I don't trust that premise for some reason. But, again, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But, yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Analyst Crunchyroll, be sure to notification bell, subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight signing off. Later, everyone.